of God. Next, they hear about his glories and attributes, and last, they are united with him. Look at Niranjan. He always keeps his accounts clear. He will be able to go whenever he hears the call. Okay, so now do we have any questions or comments about Swami Niranjanananda? In some ways, it's hard to recognize the greatness of people, especially as Swamiji said, he was of such a militant temperament that he could put up with his vagaries because he loved Holy Mother. Oftentimes, it's difficult to recognize the greatness of some of the monks. No comments or okay. We have about 10 minutes. We can start Swami Yogananda, or we can discuss what's going to be happening. What would you like? Swami Yogananda is on page 219 if you want to switch over. The temple garden at Dakshineshwar was built in 1855 by Rani Rashmani, a wealthy woman of Calcutta. It is a charming place full of trees and flower gardens. Not so much anymore, it's full of stalls that sell offerings for Kali. And the holy river Ganga flows beside its galaxy of temples. Yogan, a teenage Brahmin boy from the village of Dakshineshwar, used to visit this temple garden quite often to bathe in the Ganga or to pick flowers for the worship of his family's ancestral deities. His neighbors had told him about Sri Ramakrishna, an eccentric priest of the Dakshineshwar Kali temple. Although he was religiously minded, Yogan had not the slightest interest in seeing this mad Brahmin, as his friends called Ramakrishna. Moreover, Yogan was very shy and avoided meeting people. One day the young Yogan was picking flowers in the temple garden. He met a middle-aged man walking in the flower garden, and thinking that this man was a gardener, Yogan sought his help. Immediately, the man joyfully picked some flowers and gave them to him. Some years later, at the age of 16 or 17, Yogan read an article about the life and teachings of Sri Ramakrishna in Sulabh Samachar, a journal of the Brahmo leader Keshab Chandra Sen. He decided to visit the master. With the journal in hand, Yogan arrived at Sri Ramakrishna's veranda and found the room filled with Brahmo devotees. He was amazed to find that the man whom he had thought was a gardener and whom his friends called a mad Brahmin was actually Sri Ramakrishna. Being too shy to enter the room, he stood outside the door attentively listening to the spiritual conversation. Meanwhile, Sri Ramakrishna said to his devotee, "Call those people inside who are standing on the veranda." The devotee found only Yogan and brought him into the room, where Sri Ramakrishna was explaining the philosophy of love in simple language. Yogan was caught in the spell of his words, and he sat transfixed. When the crowd dispersed, the master walked over to Yogan and asked him about his background. "My name is Yogan," said the boy. "What is your father's name?" asked Sri Ramakrishna. "Navin Chandra Roy Chowdhury." "My goodness," he replied, "I know your father very well. I used to go to your house often and listen to readings from the Bhagavata and other scriptures. Your family members were very respectful towards me." Thus, Sri Ramakrishna talked to Jogan for some time. When Jogan was about to leave, the master said, "Come again." Jogan agreed. While he was returning home, the boy thought, "This man must be a saint who has seen God." People do not understand that, and therefore they laugh at him. How else can one account for such words of devotion, such divine love, and such ecstasy in the name of God? However, let me watch him closely. And we're going to stop on that cliffhanger. Any questions or any comments? You can unmute yourself and join in if you like.
He was a pretty smart lad to
He was
pick
a
up on.
pretty smart lad to see that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think both Niranjan and Yogan were. They were young when Swamiji met him. Yeah. Well, when they met Ramakrishna. Okay, so this Sunday we're going to have a special treat. Swami Atmavidyananda, who wrote the Chandi, an oratorio, is going to present half of the oratorio because it ended up longer than 1 hour. And he will continue it on the 14th of September. So his oratorio, of course, is about Ma Kali and the Chandi. And you are familiar with that, I'm sure. Okay, we will have gospel reading, Swami Brahmananda, on Saturday at 5. And that's basically at as you know, the Durga Puja will be on the 27th.
There's no Wednesday reading next week.
I'm sorry?
There's no Wednesday reading next week.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Wednesday the 3rd, we're canceling our cliffhanger. So you're going to have to wait 2 weeks to catch up with the cliffhanger. And we have a shortage of people at the moment, just for a week. A shortage of people and a commitment at Transition House, which requires that we stay home and not do the reading because we have other activities that need to get done. Okay? But we'll be back on the 10th with what happened when Yogan came the next time to see Sri Ramakrishna. Karma Yoga Day also in September will not be the second Saturday. It will be the Saturday on the wrong thing. Saturday the 20th, the week right before Durga Puja. We'll be getting ready for Durga Puja, getting everything kind of cleaned up and set up. So mark that on your calendar, okay? 20th. Wait, if there's no other no comments or other questions. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Take care, don't get too hot, and don't be careful and drink lots of water in the heat.
Thank you.
Don't want anyone getting heat stroke.
You.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.